Write equations of exponential functions. Sometimes we're given information about an exponential function, but we don't know the actual formula. Now we know the general form, f of x is equal to a times b to the x. And what we have to do to find that exponential formula is find a and b. Now a, that's just the initial value, so that if you put in a value of 0 for x, b to the 0 is 1, and the function kind of breaks down to f of x equals a. And then if you go ahead and take a look at b, well, b is the base. So our goal is to find a and b and substitute the values into the function. Now the game plan is very straightforward. First of all, the bases have to be positive and not equal to 1. We want to find a and b. Now, what we're going to be given is 2 data points. Here's the best case scenario. One of the points, see if I can switch colors here. Okay. One of the points is 0a, so we know a outright. If that's the case, then using a, we can put the second point into this function and we can find b. In other words, we give you a, you find b by using the other point. The likelihood you'll see that today, yeah, that's not going to happen. It's highly unlikely. You're going to see the more difficult case. The more difficult case is what? The more difficult case is, well, neither of the points have this form. You're given just 2 points. And what you'll do is you'll substitute both of the points into this formula, kind of one at a time, creating 2 formulas. And then you'll have to solve those 2 equations simultaneously for a and b. And again, we're looking for a and b. Let's go ahead and find an exponential function that passes through the following 2 points, 1, 2, and 3, 2/9. Now notice neither point is in the form of a0. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write f of x is equal to a times b to the x. And I'm going to start by just doing nothing more than taking each point separately and substituting it into the formula. And again, here's the x value, here's the f of x value. So when I do this, f of x is 2. This is equal to a times b to the first. Let's do the same thing. That seemed awfully fun. Let's go ahead and look at the second point. And again, here is x, and here is f of x. And we'll substitute in. So the output is 2/9. And that's equal to a times b to the what? B to the?
To the third.
To the third. Now I want to solve those 2 equations to find a and b. And the way I'm going to do this is with substitution. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do a quick solving for a. You say, well, that's not so bad. I'll divide both sides by what? Both sides by?
By a?
Okay, so I want to find a.
Right.
I want to isolate a, so I'll divide both sides of the equation by?
Oh, by b.
By b. So this gives me 2 over b is equal to what? Is equal to?
2a.
2a. Very good. And that 2 over b, I'm going to go ahead and put that right here. That's what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to bring over my equation that I've written in blue. 2/9 is equal to a, which I'm going to write as what? As
2 over b.
And multiply it by what? By
b cubed.
By b cubed. So let's talk about this for a moment. I got 2/9 is equal to 2 times b cubed over b. One of the b's would cancel. Looks like 2/9 is equal to what? Is equal to 2 times
b squared.
B squared. And I want to solve for b and then go back and find a. So I want to isolate b squared. What will I do to both sides of the equation?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. And here the 2's cancel, so I want to say I end up with what? I end up with what? I end up with 1/9 is equal to?
B squared.
B squared. And if I take the square root of both sides, I guess b would be equal to what? B would be equal to?
1 over the square root of 9.
And what is 1 over the square root of 9?
1/3.
1/3. And notice I'm just taking the principal root, because I know that the base has to be positive and not equal to 1. Now I have b, so I'm going to box it. That's kind of a big deal. I have this thing right here. That's what I have. So next thing I want to do is find a. Now to find a, what do I know? And your response is, what you know, Jay, is that a is equal to 2 over b.
Right.
So I'm going to substitute in b, and b is what? B is
1/3.
1/3. So now I have a is equal to 2 over 1 over 1/3. Why did I write it so quirky?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because when you divide fractions, what do? You actually,
You multiply by the reciprocal.
so it looks like a is actually equal to what?
To 6 over 1, which is 6.
Beautiful. That's kind of a big deal because now I have this piece here. Now you can turn around and read me my exponential function. My exponential function is f of x is equal to a, which is
6.
times b, which is
1/3
raised to the
x.
x. Thank you.